Well, this is our first session in Introduction to Programming, the Kotlin. We can have nearly 3 to 4 sessions on this topic, and this first session will introduce you to the Kotlin programming language, and not just that, this will also give instructions on how to install JDK, which stands for Java Development Kit, and also Android Studio, which is the IDE which you use for developing Android apps. So going further, for this program, you need these prerequisites. You need some basic computer literacy. That means you need to know basic computer things, and then you need to know some basic mathematical skills, and then you need a computer along with headphones. That's optional. Headphones are optional for this, and you need a very good internet connection. Also, you need an Android device along with a USB cable. It's optional. Even if you don't have this Android device and any USB cable, then we can proceed with a feature in Android Studio called AVD, which stands for Android Virtual Device. That will install an Android device in your computer itself. Before starting this, I request everyone to think of these questions for a while, for just 2 minutes. The first question is why we are here. And the second question is, what would you like to learn? And the third question is, what are your goals? What would you like to achieve after this? Think for 2 minutes and let me know. Anyone can share if you'd like to share the answers to these questions.
Hey Charan, I would like to share a few points from my side.
Yeah, sure, please.
Uh, could you show us the question slide? Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
yes,
Thank you.
yeah.
So to answer the questions, why are we here? I'll answer the questions from my perspective. So why am I here? I am here to just learn programming. To learn Android development, it's irrespective of the programming language I use. So the thing I am here today is to learn Android development. And the second question is already answered you. Irrespective of programming language, I'm here to learn Android development. So what are my goals? At the end of the day, I'd like to develop Android apps on my side. Without any help or without using any resources from online. So that's what I'd like to do from one day.
Okay. That's good to hear. And anyone else? I will hold for around 20 seconds, and if there are no one to answer this anymore, then I will proceed to next. Okay, let me go forward. In this session, these are our learning objectives. First, we will learn introduction to this program, about the program, how to begin, how to proceed, and what's the deadline, and such things. And then we will see the installing JDK and Android Studio. Then we will look at the basic concepts in programming language Kotlin. And at the last, I will provide some resources so that you can learn a lot in Kotlin, because we cannot cover everything in Kotlin in this season alone. So let's start. Here, introducing this program, we have one link shared by the Google, and this is the main link for everything in this program. I will share this slide with you after this session. Once you open this link mentioned here, you will be sent to this page. In this page, When you scroll down, you can see two options. One is called new to programming, another one is prior to programming experience. New to programming is for people who don't know very basic programming concepts, such as what are variables, how to declare them, and what are functions and related things. Also, new to programming includes some object-oriented programming things. Coming to prior to programming experience, if you have some basic knowledge in programming language, then you can come here. And here we will have the first one, start Kotlin Pumps. This is for people who don't know the basic syntaxes of Kotlin. When you click here, it will redirect you to one external website. Here you can learn the basic concepts of Kotlin. You can learn about the collections, about the conventions, and the introduction to this language. This is about the Kotlin language. And then the main part will come, which is called Android development, and it's a prior to programming experience. Let me show you that. And to give a brief overview of this program, you need to select any one of these. You need to select either new to programming or programming prior programming experience. If you want really, then you can choose both of these, but you cannot choose only new to programming alone, because in order to get certification, then you need to complete this prior programming experience too. And this start Kotlin cons is optional to you. This one, which you see once you know basics of Kotlin, driving to enter Kotlin fundamentals course. This is mandatory one to get your certification. Coming to this, if you would like to start from prior programming experience and if you would like to skip this, then you can simply click here. These both are called tracks, track 1 and track 2. Track 1 is new to programming, track 2 is prior programming experience. So if you'd like to go with track 2, then you can click start course here. And here every track is divided into 2 units. There are 2 units for every track, and every unit will contain pathways. And here there are 5 pathways in first and 5 in the second. And if you explore each unit, then you can see there will be some activities for your pathways. So here let me select this build your first tab. When you explore this, you can see 3 activities mentioned there. Few pathways will also contain some video lectures, but they are optional. You can directly jump to code labs. Code labs play a very important role in this learning process. When you open this pathway, you can find an option called take code lab. When you click this will send you to code lab. Code lab is a type of interactive learning environment where you can learn things with well description, and these descriptions are all written by Google developers training team. This is how code labs work. You can click next to proceed and then next, and if everything is good, then you can click on done. After taking all these code labs, you can find an option here called take a quiz. Every pathway will contain at least one quiz, and you need to solve nearly 80% of these questions to win a badge for that pathway. Every pathway will contain a badge. This is a process you need to complete, and in order to get certified in this, you need to complete at least one track. Either the no sorry, you need to complete the prior programming track completely. That means there are nearly 10 pathways here, and you need to complete all the 10 pathways in order to get certified. Let me show all the 10 pathways available here. Yeah, you can see every pathway will contain at least one badge. Here this is badge. In this way there are 5 badges here, and here 5 badges here, total 10. That means total there are 10 pathways to complete. So here is your learning objective, what you will gain after learning this unit. If you complete this unit 1, then you will learn how to build 5 different Android apps with Kotlin programming language. And also you can create multiple layouts. There will be different types of layouts depending on your need. So all those things will be taught here. This is everything regarding the program. Now I will proceed with this season, which is Introduction to Kotlin. Coming to our learning objectives, the second one is installing JDK and Android Studio. JDK, you know that it's a Java environment, and in order to download it, here I provided one link which will redirect to a website, and here you can find every detail regarding the steps to install this. If you are using Microsoft Windows, then you can proceed with this, or if you are using any other operating systems such as Mac, then you can Google it how to install JDK in your machine. And here, right now I'm not going to show this, but here I attached one video so that you can get every step from this video. And if you stuck anywhere, you can contact me regarding installation. Coming to Android Studio, this is a website for official Android Studio. When you open this, you can find a download page, and this download page will be automatically shown based on your operating system. If you are using Mac, then this download page will redirect to Mac. Here, this Android Studio IDE size will be around 896 for a 64-bit machine, but this one will vary depending upon your machine. And after downloading this IDE, you need to install some SDK tools. And I attached a video here in order to show how to install all the SDK tools. Even you can contact me if you have any issue while installing Android Studio. After installing Android Studio, you can also install Android virtual device, which is also known as emulator, and that's optional to you. If you would like to install even that, then you can contact me. I will assist you regarding that. Now let's proceed. Here, in order to learn only the basics of Kotlin language, we have one editor provided by Android developers. Its URL is this one, developer.android.com/training/Kotlin playground. When you open this, you will be sent to a playground where you can execute some basics program. Here, let me explain this part. In this program, this part fun stand for function. This main is nothing but the main function followed by parentheses. This is similar to our traditional programming languages such as C, C++, and Java. And then it will be followed by curly brackets. And here, when you observe this line print, if you type only the print function, then it will show the text inside it in a single line, and also the cursor will be in that line only. It will not move to a new line. But when you use ln here, the cursor will automatically point to the next line. Let me show this here for you. When I execute this, you can see that the cursor is here. But when I remove this and when I print one more, you can see that the cursor will not move to the new line. It will print there itself. But here, if I use ln, then the cursor will move to the next line. This way. We use this playground in order to learn some basic Kotlin concept. This is the place where we can execute our Kotlin program, but just the basic programs only. Coming to the text here, in the print function, you can print anything. You can print the strings. If you want to print strings, then they must be enclosed in double quotes. If you want to print a single character, then you need to use a single quote inside this. If you want to print just a number, then you can put a number without anything. This way, you can print anything, any data type through this print function or print ln function. Now, let me go with further topics here. Coming to variable declaration part, we have two types of declarations here. One we can declare using var, one we can declare using val. Difference between these two is if we declare a variable using var, then that particular variable is a muted variable. That means we can change the value or we can reinitialize that value anytime in the program. Let me show one example. This is how we declare a variable. Remember that we have no need to use semicolon anywhere in the program, this Kotlin language. Even if you place a semicolon, it will not show you an error. That implies it's optional. But for the best practice, you don't need to use any semicolon. And the best thing here is if you initialize this to an integer, then this will automatically become an integer variable. You don't need to specify this explicitly that this variable is assigned to an integer. This will be automatically initialized as an integer variable. In order to print this, you can simply use a print statement, and here you can simply drop a. This will print the value of that. As I said, this is mutable. That means we can reinitialize or change the value later. Let me do that and show. Here I reinitialize this with 25. And here you can see that the value got changed. But if I use val here, then this one cannot be reinitialized again. That means once we initialize the value to this val variable, then it cannot be changed anytime in the program. Now here, in order to show, I reinitialize this with 25. If I execute this program, it will show as an error because it's a val type. Let me show that. Here, you can see the error. Val cannot be reassigned. This way, the difference between val and var is nothing but this. And one more thing, if you want to print anything in between the string, you can simply use this. Let me show it. A is here. I would like to print the number 5, which is initialized to the variable a. If I need to print that, simply I need to use a dollar symbol followed by the variable name. Now, if I run this, it will print our required output. A is 5. This is a way how we deal with variable declaration, initialization, and printing the variables. And the next thing we have here is different data types. Similar to different programming languages, we have like a C, C++. The data types are very much similar in Kotlin too. To say, in Kotlin, the number data type is further divided into 6 parts. They are byte, short, int, long, double, float. And here, every data type will have some range, and they can contain only in that range. If we do exceed that number, then it will show us some error. And the size occupied by these data types depend upon the type of machine. For a 32-bit machine, it will show some size. For a 64, it will show a different size. This is all about number data type. And one more interesting thing I would like to show to you is here, if you like to specify the data type explicitly, then you can simply mention here int. When this is also correct, you can specify explicitly that the data type is an integer. And remember, in Kotlin programming language, it's a case sensitive language, and here that int in this int I should be capital, and even for float f should be capital. That way. So after numbers, we will look into another data type called char. Char is similar; it's a character data type. It is the same as we use in other programming languages. And Boolean is also same as we use in Java. Boolean either hold true or false. And coming to array, we need to use one special function called array of in order to use arrays in Kotlin. Let me show one example here. Let me say A is a variable holding an array of numbers. Let me say numbers are 1, 2, 3, 1 to 5. And here, if I would like to print an element from this array, similar to our traditional language, we need to specify the index. Now I would like to print the array element at 0th index, which is 1. So I need to specify A is 1. Just a minute. I think I missed the declaration. Okay. Sorry, this is case sensitive, and here everything is followed by a capital letter. Yeah. Let me change the index and try. Here. Okay, sorry. We need to use val here because these are immutable things. Yeah, it looks like some error here. I'll get back to this. Even I tested this, but it's not working here. The next thing is about strings. In Kotlin, strings are also common. Like in our traditional languages, we can declare them and initialize them within the table quotations. Coming to operators, we have different operators even here. They are arithmetic. Arithmetics as usual, as in the traditional languages, they are plus minus star, which is multiplication, and then slash, which is a division, which will give us the quotient of the operands. And then we have a percentage symbol, which is a modulus operator, which will give us a remainder. And then we have the assignment operators here too. Coming to assignment operators, here the first one we have a plus equals to b, which is equal to a equals to a plus b, similar to our normal programming languages. And the next one is unary prefix and increment or decrement operators. Unary prefix or suffix is nothing but the assignment with the plus symbol. If there is a variable c, then we can assign it to plus a if a is already declared somewhere in our program. And then we have increment and decrement operator, same as our normal operators. And we also have invert value here, which is equal to not value. Coming to next operators, we have comparison and also the equality operator, which is show some relation between two operands or two conditions. They are nothing but the greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, equal to, and not equal to. And then we have the logical operators. These logical operators will play a very important role in Android. And these logical operators we have mainly of two types. They are end and or operator. Here the first one will get executed if either of the conditions are true. Even if one condition is false, then it will get executed. For AND, logical AND, we need the both of the conditions to be true. This is everything about the logical operators. And coming to the type conversion, in Android, we need to have a very good idea about the type conversion because we need to convert many things to other types. So here, type conversion is not same as in our traditional languages. Here we need to use some functions called toByte, toShort, toInt in order to convert the types. If you want to convert even to strings, then we can use .toStrings. And here also we need to remember that the second alphabet should be capital. I mean, after the two, the first alphabet should be capital. Coming to input or output is same. I mean, the print statement which we are used very large and print ln. These are used to get the output from the Kotlin. And in order to get the input, we can use this function called readline. And readline function should be used along with a variable. And the variable type will be automatically assigned as an string. Coming to other data types, we need to do as in Java. We need to import this scanner class, and then we need to make it as an object, and then we need to use a function next int if you want to read an integer. If you want to use a long, we need to use next long, next float, and that way. And we don't really need input functions here in Android because we will not display any terminal to the end user. What we need, the main is this print function. So we never bother about this input function in Android. Coming to next, the conditional statements, we have most of the statements similar to our normal languages. If else is same as our normal languages. Even if else later is same. Nested is same as your normal traditional languages. But there is one more called when. When is similar to switch statement, but here we need to specify an operator in this way, a dash followed by a greater than symbol. This is used as a case executable part. That means in normal programming languages we use some keywords like case, but here that is not required. We can also store the resultant value when we execute this switch, the when statement, in a variable called result or whatever that be. In the next, we can learn the basic concepts of looping in Kotlin. While loop is same as in our traditional languages. Do while loop is also same as in traditional languages. But there is a loop called for loop. This is not same is in your programming languages. This is quite similar to Python language. Let me show this with an example here. Here, let me execute a for loop. Not to execute for loop, you need to specify any iterating variable. Let me say I as an iterating variable. We need to say I in, and we need to specify the range. If I would like to print I between the numbers 1 to 5, I need to specify two dots, which will specify that they are in range. Now, I would like to print these numbers here. If I need to print these numbers, then I need to use a print statement with I in the parentheses. When I execute this, you can see that loop printing the numbers from 1 to 5. But you cannot print 5 back to 1 using this procedure because this two dots represents the forward direction. From ascending order, not the descending order. If you would like to print from the greatest to the lowest, then you need to use this I in 5, then you need to use down to, and then you need to specify till where you would like to go. I'd like to go till 1, then you need to specify this way. This way. And we also have one more thing called step. Step is nothing but how many iterations we need to follow after every iteration. That means if I print 5 here and then I would like to make a difference of 2, then I need to give step 2 here. If I give step 2, then you can see that between two integers getting skipped. It means 5 and 3. Look at the difference, and the difference will be 2. This way, for loop will work in Kotlin language. This is similar to Python, but not similar to our traditional languages. And coming to very important thing called functions. Functions are a bit different compared to our normal programming languages. And here in Kotlin, in order to declare function, we need to start with fun keyword, and then we need to give the name of the function. Let me say print me as a name of a function, and it will be followed by the curly braces. And then here you need to enter the stuff which you would like to print. Let me print hey, and you can call it directly from your main function, print me, and you execute it. That's it. But other parts are a bit different. If you would like to return anything from this function, let me say I would like to return again hi. Then you need to specify the return type of this function here after the name of the function. Here print me is the name, and after the name you need to specify the return type. Here the return type is string. So I need to specify string here, and here let me take print me in a print statement so that it can print. This way there is some syntax difference in Kotlin language. This is how we return something from a function in Kotlin. And if you'd like to pass anything to a function, then you need to specify the parameters in the function call here. And here, in order to receive those parameters, you need to specify a variable name followed by a colon, and then you need to specify the data type. As 9 is an integer, I took it as an int, and here I would like to specify that it is a. So when it return, it will say hi. That means it is taking this 9 as a parameter, and here as we are saying $a, then it is again returning this a to this. This is how functions work in Kotlin. Even if you want to specify more parameters, you can use comma here. The same will work for recursive functions too. This is everything about functions, and here I mentioned some other learning resources which you can utilize to learn more about the Kotlin language, because this is very limited stuff. You can learn more through these links. And then you can also share the screenshots or whatever you take in this session using this hashtag in Twitter or in Facebook or even in the Instagram, so that all the community members can see your experience with this. Also, we have one page in Instagram called DSC CMRTC. You can also mention that. And this is the end of the program. If anyone have any type of questions, you can answer. You can ask me.
Hey Charan, can you tell us a bit about the functions? I mean, what if we want to use them recursively? As I
Recursively.
see,
Okay.
the syntax is same from the
Okay.
traditional program. I mean,
It's
little same, but
same. It's same. Let me show one example. Mm, let me say, let me call this function recursively here, and I would like to specify the parameters 5. Here I've supplied 9 as a parameter, and here I supplied 5 as a parameter. Now I'd like to print that number here. Here I print a, and then I would like to reduce the value of this a by 1. So I reduce this value by 1, and then I'd like to check for a condition. If a value matches with 3, then I would like to stop this recursion. Now to stop this, I need to return something. Let me return 1 here. Sorry, as I'm returning a string, I need to return hi. So what will this do? It will print the number in the recursion until it matches 3, and when it matches with 3, then it will print hi. Let me execute this and just wait. Well, okay, I need to use something different here. Let me reduce this. Okay, here it's taking it as val. So what we can do is we can stop this. Let me try this way. Here, what happening is the parameters which we supply here are automatically taking as val. I also discussed earlier that val is immutable. That means we cannot reinitialize that value. That's the reason we cannot do such an operation in the function. So we need to control this something from outside. That means we need to pass the parameters which will also get reflected here. In that way we need to do. Here you can see this function print me. Initially it took 9 as a parameter, and then after first round we are passing, that means we are calling the same function again with 3 as a parameter. That means a is again reassigned as 3, and as it's seeing 3 here, then it's giving us hi. This way recursion will work. And if you'd like to use any other type, then we need to check the documentation of Kotlin language. We can visit the Kotlin language documentation using this link specified here. Yep,
Sure, sure.
here.
Thanks, Charan. You have some questions in the chat box. Do check them.
Yeah, well. My voice is breaking. Yeah,
It
this
is
will be
okay from
sent
my
to
side.
everyone. And this presentation will be sent to everyone who joined, and also for everyone in the program. And what is the minimum RAM required to run? Android Studio recommend 8 GB RAM to run Android Studio smoothly, and the minimum requirement is just 4 GB RAM. This is because we can use emulator in Android Studio, which will install an a virtual Android device in our mobile. That means you need to supply RAM to your PC and also to the virtual mobiles, so that we need more amount of RAM. The RAM consumption by Android Studio will be very high. You need to make sure if you have 8 GB RAM, that will be very good. If there are any more questions, then please ask me or even drop in this chat box. Anything even related to this program. And regarding array concept, looks like there is an error in typing this. I will check it soon. Let me try arrays within, I will leave 5 minutes for questions. If anyone have any question, then you can ask. Meanwhile, I will try with array concept. Yeah, it's working here. I think there is some typo error last time. Here you can see I supplied the index of the array element. It's 0th index, and you can see its 0th index is 1. This way, comparing to the similar languages such as C, anything, or traditional languages, it's same to read an element from an array. But in order to initialize or declare, it is a little bit different from our traditional languages. And coming to Android part, we use arrays in very rare concepts. Compared to arrays, we have more data types. We usually use string arrays here. String arrays are nothing but we need to give a double quotes to these elements. That means a collection of strings is nothing but string array. We use this string array concept in Android most of the time compared to other concepts. So let me use hi here. So if I specify an index 1, then it should show high. Yeah, because here this A is an array of strings and the index at the 1 is high. This is the way how arrays work in Kotlin. Hope the arrays concepts is also clear for everyone. If everyone is clear, then I can close this session.
Clear, sir.
And now what everyone need to do is, even now or sometime later, but the deadline to this program is 25th January. You need to complete this within 25th January, and you need to complete the prior programming track within that time. The first one is optional to you. If you would like to go with that, you can. Otherwise, you can directly jump to prior programming experience. And then here you have start Kotlin cons. If you'd like to learn more about the Kotlin language, then you can go to start Kotlin cons. Otherwise, if you would like to jump directly into Android development, then you can start Android development by clicking on start course here under prior programming experience. And you need to complete this 10 pathways within 25th of next month in order to get certified. And that's it with this program. And regarding the sessions, we will cover some introduction parts in the sessions. And also, if you have any doubts during your journey, then they will be answered in those sessions. And the sessions will be planned accordingly based on our schedules. If there are any more questions, then please ask.
No questions.
Okay, thank you.